when you first opened it up, what were your initial thoughts?
It was laid out very nicely, and it was easy to go through. It was step by step, which I really liked. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about using the same platform for, as mentioned in the program, for my virtual assistants. I think you could actually use this program and give it to a virtual assistant to hire your virtual assistant. So it's kind of like automating your automation. So I was pleasantly surprised. I've been through many of these different outsourcing programs, and this one by far struck me as the easiest step-by-step program that I've been through, for sure.
Awesome. Same here. I was in that same situation where I got a few tasks outsourced, and then I realized, well, I'm going to not only need somebody to do this new sort of manager job, but then also somebody who can just take care of the whole funnel process. And I actually felt like I could do it, right?
Yeah, this program, that was one of my favorite parts, was the funnel process. I mean, there's no excuse for anybody not to hire somebody now, because it's laid out so brain dead easy. It's like the kick in the pants that I think a lot of us need to hire virtual assistants. It's all laid out. If you can follow simple instructions like you're going to expect your virtual assistants to do, you're good to go. I mean, there's no excuse not to hire a virtual assistant in the next 3 to 4 days after going through this information, if not the same day.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It took me about 30 days to sort of get the hang of it. And actually, let's go into a little bit of that. Since you've had some past experience with outsourcing, what happened there, and tell us what stopped you.
Well, the first few virtual assistants that I hired, and Bradley brings this up, he brought up a lot of things, the mistakes that I've already made, and that was hiring a virtual assistant without having systems in place to teach them, without having videos going through all the different processes. So I was spending more time on Skype talking to these people, training them than I should have been. It ended up taking more of my time instead of less, which is what we're looking for. So Bradley breaks that down very nicely, so that doesn't happen again. That was my biggest takeaway from this, is having things in place before you hit the button and get the hiring funnel going and actually hire some virtual assistants.
Yeah.
Having a system in place, it's so important, and so many of us forget that, including myself.
Yep, I've been there and done that too. So many times where, like, again, that extra time that just gets invested in that you don't really think about, just because there's so many questions that come without a proper system and funnel, and again, all the things that Bradley teaches. I was right there in that same exact spot, and I've have all of these sort of like potential virtual assistants just sort of floating around there that I've worked with, but I didn't really know what to do with them until I went through Outsource Kingpin.
Yeah, ditto. That same here. Same here. Okay. And I probably hired 5 or 6 different ones, and I didn't get anywhere near the productivity out of them that I should have if I would have had a program like this in place.
All right, so let's talk about the execution. When we were talking off air, you'd said you'd been through a portion of Outsource Kingpin, but you already got a bunch of ideas. Where do you see yourself in the next 30 days as far as execution goes?
I see myself putting the hiring funnel into play by early next week, because.
Oh wow, that fast!
I think so. I think so. I've hired enough virtual assistants that this makes it a lot easier to pull the trigger. So I'm really hoping to have the hiring funnel in place, all the canned responses and everything that's laid out in the program. I say early next week. That probably means late next week. But,
right.
But in the next, let's say in the next week to week and a half, I would like to have the hiring funnel in. I would like to pull the trigger on that and start hiring people, because, I mean, if I would have done this a couple months ago, I'd probably be in a much better situation than I am right now. We can't wait to have our systems in place and to have people help us. I know a lot of us want to micromanage things, and we never move forward as a result. So I'm really going to force myself to have the hiring funnel in place in the next week and a half.
All right, good. So then let's get down into some nitty gritty. You've gone through a good portion of this. What would you say to the person watching right now who?
If you're looking for the fastest path to get some virtual assistants so that you can free up more of your time and have people doing the meticulous stuff that we really shouldn't be doing, I've seen every program out there, and this one is by far, it's just laid out step by step. There's no reason not to move forward quickly. So if you're looking to hire virtual assistants and to get it done in any kind of a timely manner, I haven't seen anything like this.
So now we're getting to the end of the interview / review. So I want to give you the opportunity, if there's anything that's popped into your head, to sort of close us off, some final thoughts before we stop broadcasting.
No, I'd just like to say I really appreciate the work that yourself and Bradley have put into this program. It's going to save me a heck of a lot of time, and it's going to move me forward to where I should have been 3 months ago. The biggest problem in my business is being a micromanager and trying to do everything myself. And what I find with that is you get to a point where you think you're doing well, and you are doing well, but then you run out of time, and then you kind of go back. It's like it's a roller coaster ride, and then I want to stay in more peaks and less valleys, and I think this is going to help me do that. So it's all about getting more of our time back and outsourcing and having systems in place, and this does that.